Well, guys, FUTTIES leaks have begun, which, thank goodness. I think we're all ready to move on past this promo now. Even though we said the exact same thing about Team of the Season, you can only hope FUTTIES is better. But we'll go and discuss that. A pretty big Evo leak as well, potentially. And another EA gameplay patch, which is interesting in July now. It's July 1st, believe it or not. July 2nd when you're probably watching this video, which is crazy. There was a gameplay update this late on into the year, so we'll go and talk about that as well. If you guys would like to buy coins, you can go to MMOXP.com. There will be a link in the description down below. They are the cheapest and the safest option. You can use my code JFC at checkout for an 8% discount. I do want to also say, for one, I really appreciate all of you for being here, and I know that recently it's been, you know, I've become like just a constant moaner, I feel like. And if you're annoyed by that, I totally understand, because, you know, it probably does get annoying if you're enjoying parts of this game right now. And today I kind of tried to attempt to do that. I actually went and well, first of all, here, this evolution that came out, it's a max 92 left back. We saw it leaked already, and, you know, let's be honest here, it's not very good. It's free, and we figured it might be free because it wasn't very good. So I've been trying this like mega attacking 3-5-2, like the left mids and right mids all going forward, the DMs on deep lying playmaker, just like trying to try something up to have some fun here. Running a why Ruli's in goal. He is not going to be in goal, but I have some gameplay with this. If you guys want some tactics with these, I do think it's actually worth probably sharing with you guys, because I was having a lot of fun playing with it. So if you guys are interested in this, let me know in the comments and we'll talk about it on either this channel or the second channel. But yeah, I was just trying to attempt to have some more fun here, because many of us have been so frustrated with the content. I think what I'm going to do now is just every day, and for these videos, I'm going to have like a bunch of packs to open, whether it be icon picks, a bunch of gamble packs, whatever. I'm just going to like spend all my shit starting now. Usually I wait for like a month to do this, but I'm going to start just like spending shit. So that's kind of what we're going to do for the rest of the year. Just try and have as much fun as we can. But okay, we'll start with the update that came out today, and EA dropped some patch notes that we'll go and look at right here. I saw the first reply, by the way, was gameplay changes in July instead of working on your new game, LMAO. If they don't drop changes, some people will say you're neglecting this game, and if they do, the people will say you're ignoring FC26. Like, why aren't you working on that? So they can't really win. It's still not like, you'd rather them, if they're gonna make gameplay changes here, really try and make it better with a lot of the different things. If I was to be nitpicky and not just pick one thing here, but I do like this change a lot, and we'll see how it actually plays. I've not really played a whole lot today since this patch came out, but failed tackles can now take longer to transition out of, with hard tackles being the most impacted. And they explain here the intent of this change is to reduce situations where failed tackles instantaneously lead to another tackle attempt. So attempting to stop the tackle spamming, which is a pretty important piece of this. Now, it doesn't make the tackling better, which I think we'd all ideally like to see them do, is like improve the tackling, because we know that without anticipate, it's pretty shit. But hey, any improvements, you know, we'll take, right? Hopefully it actually does make a difference, because there are some guys who, you wonder why some people start to complain when defending gets a lot worse, and they say it's too easy to score and stuff like that. That's because you've been playing some people in the last about couple years that tackle 90 times in a game and say, hey, now defending's too hard. When EA drops a patch like in January when they nerf the defending just a little bit, and they go, oh my god, defending's so hard now. That's because you've been getting away with murder for the last 2 years, and now you have to actually defend properly. Well, more properly than before, obviously, right? But anyway, side note there. Hopefully this helps. If you guys have played some, let me know what you guys have thought. And the only other real things in here is like the icon list for player career. They've updated that now. There were some comments I got like a couple weeks ago when the pass actually ended that people could not claim some premium pass rewards, so maybe that's been fixed now, and then just some other random stuff here. So that's kind of it. So hopefully it makes a difference. I do like when EA makes gameplay changes like right about now into the year, because you might as well test things out now. I want next year's game to be as good as it possibly can be, obviously. Why not test shit out now and then wait and see what our reaction is in the months of July and August, and then transition that stuff into FC26? That makes way more sense to me than having like 2 months of gameplay to start with. It's kind of a test phase. So I like when they do this. And if you guys don't remember, FIFA 22, I think it was 22, I want to say, we had the biggest like summer update we'd ever seen. And then 23 came out, and it was like probably the best gameplay we've had in the last 5 years, I would say, or 6 years. Just my opinion, of course, but I could see how it would help, you know, to have a little bit of a test run here in the old game. Because let's be real, the new game will probably be a lot like the old game, even though a producer came out and was like, no, it's totally different. I mean, we'll wait and see, you know. But okay, FUTTIES stuff. We'll talk about this first one here. FUT Latest tweets this out, and he says exclusive with the bomb emojis. Now, FUT Latest, I don't exactly know quite how reliable the source is yet. He is somewhat newer onto the scene. He's been right so far, I think, on some of the stuff that I have seen, so I'm not going to put this in like the title of the video, but if I had to guess, he's probably right because it just makes sense. 99 rated Evo coming during FUTTIES, requirements unknown yet, so if this actually is in the code right now, I know that the Evos that are over a week out or something like that, they don't really have much info on, so I'm not surprised there's not much info here, but okay, that's cool. I hope, I don't know, just FUTTIES just needs to be go time for just straight fun. And the thing is too, is EA can kind of be lazy with content and still make it fun, like 8510 repeatable, right? It's pretty lazy content when you think about it. It's not much that they're doing, but it's just making things fun. And this next part here is the pack leaks that guarantees FUTTIES players will be in packs, which some years actually they have not been. I think last year they were in packs, so I'm not surprised to see that trend continuing, but some years have actually just not been in packs. And Champs Rewards looks like it's going to be only FUTTIES. Now, there's some that say it contains 5 shapeshifters and FUTTIES players, 3 shapeshifters and FUTTIES players, but here you got 5 FUTTIES and 11 FUTTIES players. Now, what has also been confirmed in these pack leaks that we'll go and look at right here, where are they? Yep, right here. Shapeshifters, duo suck and fuck pack includes 2 guaranteed shapeshifters week 4, which then now has been confirmed that a 4th team of shapeshifters will be coming out. So the timeline was not happy to see another week of shapeshifters, even though we always knew there was going to be one. Some thought that it might have ended up being like a best of or something like that. Turns out it's going to be just a regular team 4. And also this last pack page here, this one, 96 plus ultimate ... contains 1 ultimate tots, shapeshifters, or FUTTIES player 96 or higher. I do wonder if these will be rewards for some kind. And also they have the 2 and the 3 here. So there's lots of things that could be rewards. You have the 11 shapeshifters and FUTTIES players, and then just the 11 FUTTIES player pack. So there's a lot of different things here that not really sure where they'll come in, but and yeah, you know it's not good when you got like this dog tweet, another week of this crying emoji. People are just done, and they were done with tots as well, and you just there's no really faith in FUTTIES being better. We just have to hope FUTTIES is better. And then moving on here, the next bit of news. So the Brazilian clubs, obviously we know that it's heavily implied, if not confirmed at this point, that they're going to be in next year's game. At some point, it might be later in the cycle, but they'll still be in the game. That also extends to the Brazilian national team for men's and women's players. If you guys actually don't know, if you haven't been playing career mode at all, there's no Brazilian national team. I mean, in play now, obviously, as well, but there's no Brazil national team in FIFA, which is just, that just isn't right. I mean, that just cannot be. Going into career mode and Brazil's not in the World Cup, it's like, what are we even doing here? So apparently that proposal is under review right now, so that might also end up being back next year, which would be very nice. And also apparently it's confirmed that we're going to get a Euro Path to Glory Team 2, so not only just Shapeshifters Team 4 this Friday, also a Euro Path to Glory Team 2 if you guys care about that. And also, we've not seen the Greats of the Game cards yet. Because you got tweets like, FUTTIES and Greats of the Game will save us. But if we haven't seen Greats of the Game yet, I don't know when we will see it. So I'm not really sure about this. But if we don't see it this Friday, I would honestly doubt at this point that we actually do end up seeing it. But it was leaked by leakers. And next up here, there was a Reddit post that actually somebody tweeted out this Reddit post. And that actually just doing numbers today. So I'll just show you the Reddit post that was where this originated from. And FIFA 15 looks better than FC 25. The most beautiful grass ever, says Godfather PL here. And looking at it, yeah, I mean, that is some great grass, right? Here's this other picture. It's a little lower quality here, but it does look like some pretty damn good grass, right? And this is a thing that, to me, what's more so happening here is, first of all, the player models obviously have gotten a lot better, right? Looking back at this Jordi Alba, safe to say the players look a lot better, but this is actually what's been happening in a lot of sports games, specifically recently, that the lighting has gotten worse in these sports games, and it just doesn't look as good as it once did. It looked a little more, almost in a way, less realistic, which made it look better, if that makes sense. The grass is greener a little bit. It's more vibrant, more colors, and I think that especially 2K fans talk about how bad the lighting is in that game a lot of the time. I think FIFA as well suffers with this sometimes. People look back at this and say like, hey, this looks better. Why is that? It's more so not the graphics, it's the lighting that looks better a lot of the time on all of these. There's actually a lot of mods out there now for FIFA and for other games like 2K and Madden that people give these like kind of old colors to. It makes the game look so much better. So EA needs to do it themselves, right? And I think that's where these like, hey, the graphics, why did they kind of look better before? Even though the graphics aren't better than before. But I think the big thing is just the lighting. And what do you guys think about that? And obviously yesterday we talked a lot about just the state of where the game's at right now. And there was a lot of debate about kind of like why the player count seems to be doing okay on Steam, while the rest of us kind of feel like the game isn't doing very well right now. So is that a sign that maybe it's us in our own echo chamber in our little bubble, or is there something else going on here that maybe would help with the numbers being better. And I saw this comment that I want to talk about first here. The market stuff, we'll talk about that maybe tomorrow for Rivals Rewards. I talked about that yesterday a lot. If you want to go watch some market stuff, you can from yesterday's video. But there's this comment I want to talk about kind of like initially, and let's read it here. So Youngish is basically talking about how if you want to read through all of this, you can. But in summary, we are grown-ups now who want to return to that feeling of yesterday. We are looking for the silly game to deliver that for us and then get infuriated when it won't. Maybe let's stop putting that pressure on some item from our youth to return our joy to us. It can't, it won't. We have to find that elsewhere. Point being, that same fun isn't possible to be had because it's back to our childhoods or whatever, our youth. And the thing is, I bring up this picture here because this is FIFA 22, right? And I even want to mention FIFA 23 here. Shout out to that Shapeshifters promo as well. And I want to agree with that comment to a certain extent. Yes, you know, the same type of fun, like you have different types of fun as you get older, I feel like, and different types of enjoyment with like certain things. So to me, it's different, but it's not necessarily like it's not possible. And we're all just constantly in search for something that we'll never get. Because when I think about FIFA 22 and I think about FIFA 23, I was 23 and 24 years old myself. And I think about that as like, hey, that was fun. Like those were fun promos. So I feel like if we all had the opinion of like, hey, if no FIFA's been good since FIFA 19 or 18 or 17, right? Then it's like, okay, that's 8 years ago now. So like maybe we're just getting older. But it's like, no, 2 years ago, we had like a pretty solid gameplay foundation. It wasn't amazing in terms of everything just all encompassing. There was obviously flaws with it, but it was a much better base than we have now. Better content to me than what we had now. It's still a lot of content. So I don't think it's like that crazy to think that the game can be a lot more fun without it just being the simple fact of we got too old. I don't think that's the case. And like I said earlier, like you make a good point that there are some things in our lives that I think, yeah, you'll never experience that again. Like there's that childlike joy that you feel for certain things. But I think that when we reminisce on 2 years ago, it's like, okay, well, I was 24, now I'm 26. Like, is it that much different? And we obviously look at things with rose-colored glasses a lot too. But I think we can kind of meet in the middle here and say, yeah, to a certain extent, yeah, you won't maybe ever feel certain things you did in FIFA 14, 15, 16 again. But also, the game isn't as good as it was 2 years ago. When you watch this, we're 28 and now you're 30, and it's you didn't get too old during that period, I don't think. So that's kind of my thoughts on that. And obviously, what do you guys think about that? And I do my best to read people's comments that are agreeing with me and also disagreeing with me because I think it's they're equally as important, right? And for example, I said yesterday that I feel like the game the priority number one shouldn't be realism, it should be fun. And Regivs, I apologize, says here the game should be as real as possible. Most of you just want to run to the wings and score cutbacks. Might as well put an unstoppable fireball shots and Mario and Peach on the field. That's the fun with the match finishing with a score of 15-20. So yes, I think like there's some nuance to the take, right? I think that there has to be an element of realism here. Obviously, it's a football game. It has to be realistic to a certain degree. But if you want the most realistic game possible, I don't think people would even like that. I think you would probably not like that. I think if you got a game that was ultra realistic and the pace of it was super realistic, I would think you probably wouldn't like that. So there just has to be a little medium here, a nice middle ground. And I think EA's trying to do that next year. It seems like they're trying to have Ultimate Team and offline gameplay kind of split into two and kind of are two different things. It's getting towards that now, which I think is just a good thing for everybody because then both sides can win, I feel like. But yes, do we want Mario and Peach fireball shots on the field like Super Mario shit? I don't think so, right? I don't think anybody would want that. But also, I don't think we should prioritize ultimate realism over the fun of games, right? But you do need some realism. Otherwise, you end up with, like you said there. And I was trying to get the take of the casuals, seeing the player counts like yesterday on Steam, and it seemed like it's doing okay. Was trying to see kind of where the casuals thought. And most of the time, they're not going to be here on my channel, my tiny ass. Like, wait, why did I just say my tiny ass? My tiny ass channel, comparatively to some other bigger ones out there, they're probably not going to be here. So I was trying to get like a little bit of an insight on some casuals out there. And if you guys know some casuals, like how do they like this game right now? Bull C6, I got my couple of casual mates into it in February. They're loving the rush mode and menu grind, but they're starting to lose the menu grind fun because of horrible pack weight. So yeah, I like seeing the insight on how some guys who maybe this is their first year of FIFA, like how are they liking this game right now? Maybe they think this is awesome. And if that's the case, then maybe we do need to think about things differently. But I just feel like it's still obviously undeniable what they're trying to do with the players who play the game the most, like trying to fuck you over. But I don't know, just trying to see kind of like the gauge, the temperature on what the casuals are thinking right now. Maybe not even casuals, just like maybe a step above the casuals as well. Like how are they doing? Not somebody like me who literally makes videos of the game, right? Hard to get more hardcore than that. But yeah, if you guys want to see the tactics video, let me know in the comments. And thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all so much. Love y'all. Everyone, peace.